Hey, this is Alan, and welcome back to Cloud Hero, where we learn AWS Cloud Security out loud and level up together. Last time we dug into the AWS shared responsibility model, where AWS's job ends and ours begins. Today we are talking about data encryption in AWS, and trust me, it is one of those topics that sounds simple until you start using it. Why encryption matters. When I first read about encryption, I thought, cool, just turn it on and you're good. But here's the truth. Encryption is just step one. Think of it this way. Your unencrypted data is like leaving your diary on the table. Anyone can flip through it. Encryption locks it by scrambling the words, so only someone with the right key can understand. In AWS, we have two main types of encryption: encryption at rest and encryption in transit. Encryption at rest is when your data is stored and not actively being used. For example, files in S3, which is AWS's object storage, data in EBS, which is block storage for EC2 servers, or databases in RDS, which manages databases like MySQL and PostgreSQL. All that is data at rest. Don't worry, we will do a whole episode just to cover those abbreviations, S3, EC2, RDS, and so on, and they will make total sense. Encryption in transit. This is when your data is moving from one place to another, like from an AWS server to a user's web browser. Both types of encryption matter. One keeps your data safe at rest, and the other shields it while it is moving. AWS tools for encryption. The good news is AWS makes encryption easy to turn on. For data at rest, for example, you've got a few options. AWS Key Management Service, or KMS. This is where you create and control your own encryption keys. And you can either let AWS handle the keys for you, or you can be the one in charge. On top of that, in Amazon S3, you can flip on default encryption, and every new file you upload is automatically locked down, right? Then there's EBS, which is your block storage. It can encrypt not only the volume but also the backups. And finally, with RDS, your databases and their snapshots get encrypted too. Now let's talk about data in transit. That is when your data is moving across the wire, and AWS protects it using TLS, Transport Layer Security, or the older SSL, Secure Sockets Layer. That is what gives your little HTTPS in front of a website, telling you that the connection is secure. So whether your data is just sitting still or flying across the internet, AWS gives you the tools to lock it down. The real challenge is key management. So this is something I came across while studying. Key management is where a lot of people stumble. Think of it this way. If encryption is the lock of your front door, then key management is knowing exactly where those keys are, who can use them, and when it is time to swap them out. If you give too many people a copy of your keys, then suddenly that lock doesn't mean much anymore. And if you lose the keys altogether, well, you've basically lost access to your own data. Alright, here's a quick checklist I'm following as I learn about AWS encryption. First, enable encryption at rest for everything. I mean EBS, RDS, S3, anything that stores data. Next, make sure all your network traffic is encrypted in transit. That means requiring TLS. Use AWS KMS and be strict about who can access or manage your keys. Rotate your encryption keys frequently so nothing sits around forever. Here's a big one. Never hard code keys into your code. It is like leaving your password on a sticky note, right? Instead, keep them somewhere secure like AWS Secrets Manager or AWS System Manager Parameter Store. So that is it with data encryption. Encryption is easy to turn on, but the real challenge is key management. In the next episode, we are moving on to monitoring and detection, we will talk about tools like CloudTrail, GuardDuty, and CloudWatch that give you eyes and ears in AWS so you can spot troubles before they become full-blown problems. This is Cloud Hero with Alan. We are learning, leveling up, and making the cloud safer together. Stay tuned.